What's up guys, I've decided to bring you another deck profile right here. It is Majespecter PePe. Probably sure that you're already a bit tired of it, but let's get right in to the profile. First up we have 3 Luster Pendulum the Dracoslayer. Unfortunately I don't have any others, I only got the one, but I'll have to do with these proxies. He really just starts plays using Plushfire, popping Plushfire, searching another one, and then using Plushfire's effect to get a Performage from the deck to the field. Next is 2 copies of Vector Pendulum for negating. I use it really just to negate just my opponent's pendulums, as well as just a 4. I'd probably have Archfiend Eccentric over these, but they're expensive and I don't actually own any. Okay, so next up for the Performage engine we have triple Plushfire. The Plushfire here is obviously, as I said before, used to start plays. Its effect, monster effect, is actually able to activate even when destroyed in the pendulum zone. So it's used to mostly get out your damaged jugglers from the deck onto the field so that you can get them for more searches. And then next up, for the last Performage Pendulum monster, we have 2 Mirror Conductor. It helps with more OTKs and it's a scale of 3 that's searchable. Then we got 1 Hat Tricker and 1 Trick Clown. You only really want one of each because they're actually quite bad. You're going to be pendulum summoning most of the time, so this is kind of almost irrelevant, and so is this in a way, and you don't really want to be taking too much burn damage. It's only kind of situational when you really need these, especially for this, when you have already pendulum summoned. That's the only time when you'll actually want to use this. And then obviously we have the 3 damage juggler. Now I actually think that this will probably soon get banned along with the Plushfire if we have the OCG to have a look at. They've already done it, but until then we're still running the 3 because it's amazing. Negating Wavering Eyes and all sorts of things like Flare Metal Dragon. It's really useful, as well as searching out all of your Performages. Next we got the Majespecter engine. I'm running the 3 Raccoon to search out the monsters from the deck. Then one copy of Nekomata, the cat, to search out your raccoons, because the raccoons can't search themselves for obvious reasons. Then triple Fox for the traps, because the traps are infinitely better than the spells. And then finally 2 Crow, because we kind of have to run the spells, and we have to run this as well, so because it's a 4 and it's a scale 5, which is actually fairly decent. Now for the only 2 one-offs I actually run, Foolish Burial and Raigeki. Raigeki for blowing shit up, and then Foolish Burial for dumping a damage juggler. People think that Raigeki is really bad this format, but I think it's pretty decent, because when your opponent's got a really good board, and if it even, as well as it might be under vanities, it's really good to just clear it and get rid of anything that's really problematic. Plus it's a way to get over Dark Destroyer as well, and we don't really like Dark Destroyer at all. Then for 2 OVs, I run two instant fusion. It's just for extra rank 4 plays, and it kind of counts as another level 4 really in the deck. Now for Majespecter cards, obviously again we've got Cyclone. This would be a Cyclone, but I can't get my hands on one, and I thought I had one, but I thought I had two, but I only have one. So this counts as a Cyclone. Cyclone's better than Storm anyway, because it's like an MST, really, specifically for monsters, which is kind of a shame that it's specific for monsters. Then the last spells are triple Wavering Eyes, because in the mirror match, if you get this card off, then it's going to be hard for your opponent to really do much, because in the mirror, if you get this off for 4, you're going to be banishing like their field as well as searching and adding another one of itself, which is so good. It's really, really powerful for obvious reasons. It's kind of defining the format as well, which can be a good thing and can be a bad thing. We'll just have to see. Now for traps. The one-off traps, I'm running a Torrential, Bottomless, and the Vanities. These are really self-explanatory. Torrential for blowing out in your opponent's turn. You really don't want your opponent to be special summoning a lot, so when they Pendulum, just clear that away, as well as clearing away really other threats as well. Bottomless, again, Pendulums, they'll get all of their stuff banished, except for Majespecters, because Majespecters are dicks. But I love them, that's why I'm playing them. Vanities just to interrupt plays. And then for the 2-ofs, I run 2 Tornado for banishing, and then 2 Tempest, because it's essentially a Black Horn of Heaven. I'm just going to also say that you never want to be drawing into these or the Cyclones. And also on that matter, you never want to be drawing into your Hat Tricker or Trick Clown, because that is actually really bad. They aren't really combo pieces, they're just extra cards. These are just survivability cards, really, and the rest of the Hat Tricker and Trick Clown are just when you need extra rank 4 ability. Now for the extra deck, we're running 2 of the sort of big daddy of the deck, the Ignister Prominence. It's an out to Dark Destroyer because it doesn't target, and that's all I really use it for. Its second effect I don't really use because I don't actually run the Exceed, and we haven't got the Fusion yet, which I probably would run, but for now that's all it really is used for. Then 2 Norden, because I've got two freaking instant fusions, which can be bad to draw into 2 of them because, you know, it's really just bad. It's just not very good. But these are still pretty insane, getting cards out of your grave just for almost free Exceed summon. And then moving on to Exceeds, I actually run 1 Leviair The Sea Dragon, because it can really combo well with your level 3 Majespecters and getting out your damage jugglers from the banish zone for more rank 4 plays, and to act as sort of the 4th damage juggler search as well. Then 1 Trapeze Magician, OTK potential, also it stops you from being damaged by anything at all, and it also gets a Performage from the deck when it dies. Abyss Dweller, because Cosmo really, and Rogue Shadow decks, they're still kind of going about. I've seen a couple around, and it just stops graveyard effects, which is really nice. And plus, if you do that with Norden, it's going to be at 22, which is a little bit difficult for your opponent to get over if they haven't got anything really big. Also, this behind a Vanities is pretty difficult to get over as well. Then Emeral for recycling. It's also very good for recycling your
side deck cards like Fortress Dragon when you really need to use them multiple times. It's good for getting your any of your one-offs back into the deck, one-off monsters. Diamond Dire for popping cards. It's kind of a bit situational, but it's still really quite strong. You can also, like, if you're able to, I've been able to actually exceed into a couple of cards, then exceed into this, and then pop it, then search using the damage juggler for a hat tricker, and then special summon hat tricker and overlay for something else, like using the damage juggler if I've got the Leviair on the field. Then Castel, because Castel's just too good. Spinning a card back into the deck is really, really strong again, although it does target, which is rather annoying, making it a little bit less good than your Ignister. Ptolemaeus. Ptolemaeus is really good just because of ranking up into both Constellar Pleiades and Constellar Diamond. It's also, if you get Vanity's mid-play, it's also got a 26 ass, and that's actually really good. Then Dark Rebellion, XYZ Dragon. You just really do kind of sometimes want an ignorant attacker, and this and Trapeze Magician is sometimes actually game, which is actually pretty good. Delteros, it's to stop your opponent from stopping your plays. If you're able to actually go into it, then it's really strong. Also, you can pop cards and pop your own scales, like Plushfires, when you need to get extra summons. Pleiades, because bouncing shit back to the hand is really, really strong, and you still don't want certain cards to get their effects when they go to grave, like like your Gradles, that's actually a problematic deck. Gradles and your Shadows. I'm still stressing Shadows because they're still pretty good. And finally, for the last extra deck card, we've got Constellar Diamond. Constellar Diamond's still good against BA and rogue dark decks like Dark Lord deck, which is stupid to get over. I've actually got a side deck to show you this time, as opposed to I didn't really have one with my Cyber Dragon deck profile, because I didn't really have a strong side deck for that one. So I'm going to start off with sort of the Cyber Dragon Dry, because it's a Pendulum summonable out to Dark Destroyer and Gear Gaia and other machine decks. Obviously, this this side deck is going to be subjective to the actual format itself, but for this November 2015 format, it's still really strong and really useful. Then we got 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, because we need to get rid of back row, because back row is really, really strong against this deck. It can really disrupt. So whenever going up against something that has more back row, it's useful to side into these over the Cyclones. That's all I really have to say on that. Triple Imperial Iron Wall for Cosmos. Cosmos is still pretty strong. It doesn't matter whether they have a bad matchup against it. If they get any leverage over you, you're probably going to lose. So getting rid of any ability to be banished is good. Plus, the only thing that we really banish is the Jugglers, and you don't really always need the Jugglers to be banished. Shadow Imprisoning Mirror to stop like BA. They're still a pretty good deck, even though they got hit, but people are just ignoring them, where I think they're actually still a threat. But also stops your Dark Destroyers from getting any effect off, as well as the Cosmol Wicked Witch. Then Royal Decree for
trap card based decks and Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, because Gear Gaia and Dark Destroyer pretty strong. You can, for some reason, I actually had the idea of putting in a Overload Fusion for some reason into just random decks, and then a Chimera Tech Overdragon, even though this is a really bad idea, just as a top deckable beat stick. I don't know why I thought about it, but I just thought that was funny. But anyway, that is the deck profile. I think it's really quite strong. I've been able to get some really good fields out of it for practically nothing. And I do think that could potentially be a bit of an issue with the meta. As much as I do enjoy playing this deck, I really think that it's stupid. The amount of combo plays that you can make with it is just insane. But that's all I've really got to say on this. Thank you guys for watching. It would be great if you could give this video a like and possibly comment saying any improvements that I could make. But again, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.